When you are thinking of moving and living in Indonesia, then finding a place to live is going to be a high priority on your list, right? So that's what we're going to focus on today's video. Towards the end of the video, we will show you some great examples of houses you can find online. So make sure you watch till the end.
But first, if you watched our first video on moving to Indonesia, hi and thank you for returning back. If you are new to our channel, welcome. And we are Matt and Monico, and we have lived in various countries before settling down in the Netherlands. But now we are planning to move abroad again, but this time together with our 7-year-old son. So, if you are thinking of living abroad too, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button so you know when we have shared more practical information on moving and living abroad based on our own experience and what we will learn for our next move. And if you're wondering how we will financially be able to move and how we plan to earn an income when living abroad, please have a look at the links we have added in the description box.
In our Moving and Living in Indonesia series, we focus on all aspects that will help you decide if Indonesia is the country for you. We love Indonesia, but we are still unsure if this is the country we want to move to next, as a family. But more on that in the next videos. Now, let's focus on what you need to know before even deciding to move there.
As mentioned earlier today, we're going to dive into the topic of housing. What type of housing is there and how much does it cost and how to find a nice place? Should you rent or can you buy?
First, let's discuss if there is even an option to buy in Indonesia. As an expat and anyone not holding Indonesian nationality, you are not allowed to own anything in Indonesia. You can lease land for a certain amount of time, let's say 30 years, but you have also 80 years, depending on the contract. If you want to buy something privately, so not as a large-scale business, then you unfortunately cannot own any land or property unless you have an Indonesian partner in crime.
Even for me, having an Indonesian mom but with a Dutch nationality, I cannot own or inherit anything that is in my mother's name in Indonesia. Well, that says enough, right?
Yeah.
So in this video, we're going to talk about renting, which we highly recommend anyway when moving to Indonesia for the first time. It's always good to experience first what you like about a house in Indonesia.
Yeah. Chances are, if you are living in Indonesia for a long period of time, you might move again and again. And for the second or even the third time, you will know exactly what you want and do not want in a house.
For instance, when we were living in Bogor on Java Island, it took us a while before we found a house that we really liked. Initially, we thought that any house would be fine, but after seeing dozens of them, we figured that it is important to have this is the one feeling when seeing it for the first time. We particularly like having a house with a front and backyard, preferably a one-story building with an extra room and bathroom for the visitors.
So, before you start searching for a house, in some cases, you need to be aware that there are areas where renting is per year, not per month. This means that you have to pay for the whole year or 2 years upfront. Also, what we experience when looking for a place in Bogor is that the owner wants you to rent for a minimum of 2 years. But that can of course differ per area. I can imagine that Jakarta and Bali are different because of the continuous flow of expats coming and going.
Yeah, when we were searching for a place in Bogor, we were eventually able to find a beautiful house in a somewhat older neighborhood, and the owner settled for a 1-year contract instead of the usual 2-year.
Yeah.
But the price was higher than we expected.
That's right.
At that time, we paid about $2,500 for a year instead of the 1,000 that we were aiming for.
Yeah.
But over the years, like many things, rent has increased in Indonesia. And while we paid just $2,500 for a year, for a pretty big house, my mom rented a small 2-bedroom house in a housing complex in Jakarta and Bali just before the COVID pandemic, and she paid 50 million rupiah a year. That's around 3,000 US dollars.
So generally speaking, you can find a one-story or bungalow-styled house with 2 bedrooms for around 2,500 to 3,000 a year. There are usually small nice houses in housing complexes where you can find many Indonesians as well. And of course you can have these massive villas, or stylish holiday visas such as those in Bali. But you will have to pay a lot more, of course.
Additionally, there are many condos to rent, particularly in Jakarta.
Yeah.
These condos include all kinds of facilities such as a pool, security, gym, and there will probably be an Indomaret, like a mini supermarket or any other convenience store nearby the entrance of your building.
Yeah. Prices for housing, of course, depend on where you want to live. Indonesia is huge, Everything is centered around Jakarta though, making it the most expensive place to live. As soon as you exit Jakarta, housing is going to be incredibly lower, except for Bali, where expats and digital nomads like to move to. Rental prices in cities such as Medan, Bandung and Yogyakarta can be even half of that compared to Jakarta and Bali.
Yeah, so how to find a house? Depending on what you want and where, finding a place is pretty easy in Indonesia. As soon as you drive into a housing complex, you are sure to find empty houses with signs disewa, meaning for rent on it.
Of course, you need to know where to look and in which part of the city you want to live before searching aimlessly through town.
As mentioned in earlier videos, Pondok Indah, Kemang, Sudirman, Metang and Kuningan are popular places to live in Jakarta. As you can imagine, prices are pretty steady and aimed for expat living. Expect to pay at least 2,000 US dollars a month if you want a house, perhaps with a pool. And there are also a lot of apartments or condos for rent, but we think they are pretty small.
Yeah. Some ads say that the condominium has 3 bedrooms, but we think the 3rd bedroom is more suitable for study than a place to sleep. If you're by yourself or as a couple, then it's okay. But for a family, I wouldn't do it. These type of apartments are around 650 to 1,000 US dollars per month. There are so many websites online that offer houses for rent. Most of them are in Indonesian though.
Yeah, so if you are checking these websites, for instance for Bali, then you have to double check if the rental ad is really a house or a holiday rental villa. It seems that many Bali villa owners have listed their holiday properties on long-stay rental platforms. These places might be more expensive, of course, compared to regular houses, such as those in housing complexes, where you find many locals living there as well.
Yeah. If you're seriously searching for a place and want something without much hassle, then you can contact an agency, such as Collier Indonesia or Ray White Indonesia. It will not cost you anything, since the agent gets commission-based payments. So the property owner pays for the commission. Of course, these costs might be added indirectly to your rent. Most property agents are able to speak English, so this is a great option when moving to Indonesia for the first time.
The more details you give to the agent on what you are seeking, the better the rental agent can help you out.
Yeah. We have been browsing online to see what kind of houses there are in Jakarta and how much they are for rent. So let's have a look at what we have found.
So we have found 2 pretty good websites where you can find a lot of houses for rent in Indonesia. In this case, we're going to check Jakarta. The first one is rumah123.com, and the second that we really liked was Ray White. Let's have a look at rumah123.com first. It's an Indonesian website, so everything is mostly in Indonesian. But if you use Google Translate, you'll come a long way. Before you start your search, make sure you select disewa, that means for rent. Here you can enter the location where you want to find a house, and then you press cari, search. we did a search for Pondok Indah, a pretty famous area in Jakarta, known for its massive houses. Most houses are from 2,000 US dollars per month. As you can see, the first house listed is 800 juta per tahun. That means 800 million per year. That's around 53,000 US dollars. So you'll be paying 4,500 US dollars a month. Here you have another one, 700 million per year. That's around 46,000 US dollars a year. 3,800 per month. You can have a quick look. Just trying to show you briefly what you can get, because yeah, once we are browsing online looking for houses, we can just go on for hours. But yeah, we want to try to keep it as short as possible, so you'll get a good impression on what you can get for how much in Jakarta. Let's see, let's go back. Maybe we'll find something a little bit cheaper, such as this one. This is 450 million per year, 30,000 US dollars, 2,500 US dollars a month. And what else can we get? Let's see. This one is 270 million per year, but we already checked this one out. It doesn't have a pool, so this is around 18,000 a year. You'll be paying 1,500 a month, but it doesn't have a pool. But at least you have a big house with a garden. Yeah, so that's pretty much what you can get in Pondok Indah. We also checked Kuningan is a good place if you're looking for an apartment, for instance, because we saw that there are a lot of apartments listed for Kuningan, but we were pretty surprised how expensive they are. If you have a look at this one, this is almost 41 million per bulan. Per bulan means per month. That's around 2,700 per month for an apartment. So we were pretty shocked how expensive it was. There are more listed here. Let's see here. This one is 17 million per month. That is around 1,200 per month. Let's have a quick look how it looks. Of course, these apartments have facilities such as a pool, a gym. So yeah, that is probably why it is more expensive. But when we went to Airbnb and selected Kuningan Jakarta and chose a monthly rent for, let's say, this May, and then we did the search, we were surprised how much cheaper it is. It's more like 500, 600. You can find an amazing fully furnished apartment in Kuningan. So yeah, maybe it would be an option that if you are searching for something for a month or 6 months, or yeah, whatever reason you are in Jakarta, maybe you should check the apartments on Airbnb and try to negotiate for a good monthly price. It will have all the facilities like any other regular apartments that you will be renting in Jakarta. So yeah, have a look at Airbnb if you are considering an apartment. So let's have a look at the second website that we really liked, Ray White. Make sure you select rent again. We selected for this time Kemang, a very nice area in Jakarta as well. A lot of expats live there. And yeah, they have a really nice selection of houses here. And the great thing is, some of them are already in US dollars per month, so it's very clear cut. You can have a look at this one. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, swimming pool. Let's have a look at what else there is. So 360 million per year. That is 23,500 a year in US dollars. Just about 2,000 a month. So as you can see, there is a good choice in houses in Kemang. And this is 2.5 of 2,663 a month. A more modern looking house. So yeah, enough choices for houses in Kemang. So this is a quick impression of what you can find and get when it comes to renting a house in Jakarta. So have a look at these 2 websites, and yeah, like we said, you can just browse for hours and check all the properties that they have to offer. So yeah, have fun.
For Bali, there are lots of property sites, so browsing through these sites will give you a great indication on how much you expect to pay for rent. Let's have a quick look at some housing in Bali and their cool looking pictures.
Yes, if you're looking for a house in Bali, then I think it has more choice in Jakarta, or maybe because the style is just beautiful, and you know, when you look at the pictures, you're like, yes, this is really a nice place to live in. Naturally, the location determines the price as well. So if you're going to live in the area Seminyak, Canggu, then yeah, you're going to pay a heavy price. Also depends on what type of housing you want. I found a couple of websites, like as you can see online, there's so much that you can choose from. Again, you have the Ray White. In this case, it's best to just select an area that you want. And yeah, as you can see, there's enough choice, a really nice choice in all kinds of price ranges. I also found this one, the Bali long-term rentals, Villas of Bali. Yeah, amazing accommodations to live in. Also all kinds of price ranges. And yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for. If you want something in Sanur, they really have nice places. I particularly like the semi-openness that Bali has in their houses. You know, that the living area is semi-open. Like here, you can just jump straight in the pool from your living area. I believe like this one as well. How amazing is this? Is living semi-outdoors. This is 25,000 a year. Let's see if they will convert it. Yes, 17.5 a year. So that will be like 1,500 a month. But if you go to Canggu, 4 bedrooms. Well, let's say, yeah, let's have a look at this one. Yeah, really nice. So that is 35,000 a year. See, that's a huge difference compared to Sanur. That's almost 3,000 a month. Yeah, if you can afford it, why not? And if you want to stay in Canggu, yeah, why not? As you can see, it looks amazing, and yeah, you'll be living in a kind of holiday paradise, I can imagine. Let's see, so, and Bali Moves also has a couple of nice places. They also have like, what I really like, also the traditional ones, like traditional 3-bedroom house for rent for, yeah, not that much. Again, Sanur. Yeah, Sanur is more of an image of residential perhaps compared to Seminyak and Canggu where everything happens. So and Sanur is more quiet and easygoing, more family kind of area, I would say. So this one is like 1 million a year, and 1 million in rupiah is like 6,500 US dollars. So you'll be paying like 550 a month for a house. But then again, you don't have a pool. As soon as there's no pool, then the rent goes down considerably. So as you can tell, there's so much to choose from, all types of styles in Bali. And yeah, you can tell that there's a lot of expat living here because the quality of the houses or the design of the houses are amazing.
As you can tell, there's lots to choose from. Best is of course to visit a couple of houses before making the final decision. Once you have your favorite, make sure to visit it more than once, preferable at different times of the day. You don't want to wake up by the call of prayers in the morning or suddenly realize you are near a junction with heavy traffic in the mornings or the late afternoon, because those motorbikes can be really annoying.
So we hope we have given you a good impression of the types of housing Indonesia has to offer and how much it will cost you to find a suitable place. In our next video, we're going to go into detail on things we learned when searching for a place to live in Indonesia and what to look out for before agreeing to rent it for a year or more.
Yeah. For now, if you like the video, please consider pressing the like button. You can also subscribe or hit the notification button, so you know when we have uploaded our next video.
If you have any questions, suggestions or comments, then we are happy to receive them in the comment section below. That's it for today, and thank you for watching, and hopefully till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.